Hey guys, how you doing? Living well? Eating good? Today, I want to talk about core beliefs. And it means exactly as it sounds. It's something that you believe in. It can come from direct, like from your personal experience, or indirect, through research, studying, or word of mouth from someone like friends or someone who you might respect. And these beliefs directly impact your everyday decisions and your thought process. But Dave, why are you talking about this now? Isn't this pretty obvious? And yes, my dear viewers, it is pretty obvious. It's obvious as finding the main anime protagonist in a Japanese school classroom. But I wanted to talk about it because I didn't know this particular core belief until I really had to dig it through. I didn't know these beliefs could be hidden, unknown to you, yet it's been affecting me every single day. And I only found out about it after discussing it with my friends on Discord. And once they pointed it out, I was like, wow, you're absolutely right. And this is why therapy exists. So today, I wanted to talk to you about my journey of discovering this core belief and how it affected me and my mental health. Let's go. Whenever I plan for things or wait for things to happen, I always think about the worst and I get very anxious. I'll give you an example. Like, you left your smartwatch at the gym, or you're waiting for friends on a busy street, or you're buying stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Always at the back of my mind, it's often riddled with what ifs, and most of them are pretty terrible scenarios. I often get dry sweats, and sometimes I have trouble sleeping because I anticipate any of these things, your worst case scenario, and I'd be devastated. Last week, when my wife took me to this church seminar, and I was stuck in that room for the whole day, a pastor in front of me talked about how accepting Jesus into your life will bring you peace. And that word peace stuck with me. Because wouldn't it be nice to know that someone or a supernatural being is protecting you from evil and bad things? And everything just happens by God's design, a design that's been personalized for you. So good outcomes will come to you because you're his favorite lamb, regardless of whether you think that's true or not. Just believing in that would cull out a lot of anxieties, don't you think? I can focus on other things and have a positive outlook in life instead of fearing what other events might come next. I'm so tired of being anxious and fearful about the future. And finally, when me and the boys talk on Discord about, world events and hypothetical what ifs and all that, I often have a very extreme viewpoint or assume the absolute worst. For example, I personally think that we will never turn the tide on climate change, or we can solve any of our complex social issues. And let me tell you why. But first, a quick introduction about this piece of shit bird. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a cuckoo, and the name is very fitting because this bird is absolutely a cock. This bird lays its egg into another bird's nest, and the chick that comes out of the egg, it instinctively kicks out other eggs to eliminate competition. And what struck me the most is that this chick instinctively kicked the other eggs. There was no lesson to be had. The mother never spoke to the chick. The cock knew it was in its genetics an evolutionary trait. Okay, now back to humans. I personally think that through thousands of years of humans giving birth, I think we humans have bred in the 7 deadly sins into our DNA. Over the course of time, evolution have favored people with greed, wrath, lust, and so on. And they would have gotten an upper hand through life, whether it's taking advantage of people or having more resources than others. And they made more offsprings, and the traits must have passed on through generations to generation. And by the time our human species became the dominant species on planet Earth, that trait became the dominant trait which we all tend to carry. I am so doom and gloom about humanity because I think humans are inherently bad. I believe that humans are designed to do shit things to each other. And hey, look at that. That's my core belief. Nobody said a core belief have to be a good one. And I honestly couldn't have pinpointed it out without the help of my friends. I wouldn't have the time or the right space to write my arguments with examples and analyze, as well as getting honest feedback. So thank you whoever was watching this. It was on my Discord chat. Thank you very much. And this core belief is making me live in fear and doubt, because a lot of the things that we do and we plan out is often done as a group within a community. It makes total sense why I am so anxious and fearful, because I think people are inherently bad, and bad things will almost always happen to me. It might not be today, but definitely in the near future. Now, the real question is, so what are you gonna do about it? And I think the next step is pretty clear. I need to vigorously dispute my core belief and try to actively look into all the good things that humans have done and prove to myself that people are genuinely good and humanity is on average good. I think that looking at the headline grabbing media definitely played a part in feeding me with all the negative things that are happening around the world. And like everyone else, I'm terrible at assessing risk and thinking that the probability of bad things happening is really high, but in fact, in reality, it's quite low. And if I just reflect back to things that happen and the events that happened in my life, it is on the average very good. So I need to change that mindset. I need to influence that core belief so I don't constantly live in what ifs that is very negative. But just knowing this core belief of mine has helped me to think and say, hey, you're actually only thinking like this because you think people are inherently bad, but that's actually not true. I think this is definitely the right path to changing my mindset so I can start feeling peaceful rather than living in constant fear and doubt. I'm just misinformed, right? And that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.